The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezily soft host, David White. And we've got an interesting day out here. Tried to push the market higher a little earlier, then tried to push it a little lower earlier. And now we're somewhere in between, about 1 point off on the S&P cash. Not a lot of volume up at the top. Got some volume on the way down. Tried to push it back up a little bit here in the early afternoon. Again, volume light, 2.2 billion shares on the consolidated tape, and we'll be talking about this and more in this day. We always like to start off with a little bit of history, normally market history, but not much was going on in the market. So we'll talk about other things. In 1847, the first rescuers reach the surviving members of the Donner Party, a group of California-bound immigrants stranded by snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Of the original 89 members of the Donner Party, only 45 reached California, and that's because they pretty much ate the people that didn't make it. Other things that happened on this day, a very dark day in U.S. history. Franklin Roosevelt signs Executive Order 9066, initiating basically the policy of putting Japanese and some Chinese in internment camps if they were anywhere in the West. And fairly a dark day. If anybody thought that Roosevelt did any good, I don't know. To me, it's like saying Hitler made the trains run on time. You just can't take the huge negatives away that easy. But that is exactly what happened on this day, and a dark day indeed in history for us. Also on this day, 5 years ago, it is the rant that sounded around the world. CNBC's Rick Santelli bellowed out that he would go to Lake Michigan. I'm going to start organizing. He screamed at the CME on February 18th and 19th. It was time, Santelli said, for another Tea Party. And I think it was actually the 19th. I don't know what says the 18th. Maybe I'm a day behind on this. But interesting nonetheless. But certainly organizing got started. I guess there's a couple of rants that are fairly famous on infotainment, or at least financial infotainment, that being one, and the You Know Nothing rant back in 2008 for Jim Cramer. And interesting stuff going on around the world, at least in the euro. Not a lot of movement out there. Greece off 1.4%, but for the most part, flat days. In Asia, the China Sibor slid to its lowest level since May as rates finally are starting to normalize after the new year. Japan's Nikkei off 0.5% after a big push yesterday by some more QE. Hong Kong's Hang Seng up 0.3. China's Shanghai Composite up 1%. Australia up 0.3%. And that market is looking rather dubious, kind of like ours right now. Let's see, I've got something here. Let me see if I've got it. Oh, I know what it is. There it is. What's going on here? Hang on just 1 second. I've got a little bit of additional work, I think, here to do. If I can get this going here. There we go. I don't know why this always resets on me, but I was getting ready to talk about steel. And you can't say anything good about steel today. And you picked the wrong day to be in steel. U.S. Steel off about 6% earlier. AK Steel off 4%. And NW Pipe. This is all about the Department of Commerce preliminary decision not to impose tariffs on South Korean pipe and steel manufacturers. So not a good day. Not very protectionist for U.S. companies out there, but certainly hitting them fairly hard. After the bell tonight, market perform at FBR Capital on Tesla made it come down a little bit. I think it was down $10 earlier. Haven't looked at it lately. Put a target on it about 150. They are scheduled to report, of course, after the bell tonight. And depending on who you listen to, their forward PE on non-GAAP is 125. And if you actually did a gap on it, some people are saying as high as 500. It is the company that is everybody loves and is worth, 25 billion market cap or something ridiculous. What is that? 500 times worth. GM would be worth, at least 100 and not 200 times more if they had the same forward PE. Kind of ridiculous out there, but interesting to see that it was down before earnings out here. You can always give us a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And we'll be looking at the rest of stuff going on out here today. But it will be interesting, not to say the least. And we will talk about that. Oh, where is my... Come on, Mr. Charts. Oh, what's it doing over here? We'll look at that. Anyway, we will try to work out some of the other issues. Oh, we've got a question. Would you evaluate Tesla's earning tonight? And that is from Wayne. And, let's see. Do I have anything else here? Thought, get ready to this. Oh, got to do that. Yeah, I got mail, and that's Wayne. He said he wanted to look at Tesla pre-earnings tonight, and let's take a quick look at that, TSLA. Again, you can email me at path@tfnn.com, and I'll be glad to answer your email. I'll try to check it during the breaks. You can also send stuff to me via the Den and put questions in there, and you can also call up at 877-927-6648. So Tesla, let's take a quick look at this. Of course, this thing broke over a previous high. Everything I'm looking at in this says that the November high out here at 22 million shares is what you really needed to break back through. You had about 13 million shares on the 10th of February, and this looks to me like it wants to come back into the 180 range. This thing, just a hard stock to trade. I wouldn't be placing any bets on it. I'd react to whatever happens after the bell, but it is going to be interesting. Oh, we got more mail. Yeah, and Mike says he wants to look at BIS and DGAZ. So let's take a look at the BIS real quick and see. ProShares Trust, BIS. Let's get the profile up just so I can make sure that we are not at 2 times the inverse of the daily performance of the NASDAQ Biotech Index. And boy, just not enough volume in this thing to actually make any requirement. We'll see if there's any volume. DGAZ, see if we've got anything in that. A little better volume in this. And take a quick look at what its profile is. Net expenses of 3 times the opposite inverse of the natural gas index ER. Wow, this is a little violent little sucker out here. Well, I tell you what, you wanted to look at the closeout here, but you needed 37 million shares. You got about 30 right now, and it would be interesting to say the least. I've got one play out there what I like on natural gas, and of course the numbers are going to come out tomorrow, at least according to Andy Heck, and we'll see whether or not it. We've got Rico from Costa Rica calling in. How you doing today, Rico?
Hey, man. Hi. It's K Rico, but who cares?
Well, they put it K period Rico, and I never could remember if it's KP Rico, KR Rico. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, cool. What are your feelings about the MCP, Molycorp, and all the specialties? What are your feelings? Let me cut to the chase. What are your feelings? Do you think they're going to last? Do you think they're legit? Because you gave everybody the greatest tip a few years ago, and thank you for that. And then you told everybody, okay, the party's over. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Where
it's
are we now?
The bottom was kind of easy to pick. The top, a little less so, but I hated the CEO coming on. He was on every 2 minutes on CNBC pumping his stock as it went up to $79, and he's gone. A lot of those other people are gone, but it's a legitimate company. They are now producing. They have a valid bottom at $4.55, $4.50. I would have loved to see that 451 actually pierce, but it came on a light enough volume that certainly that 451 is the one I played out here that ran up to 645, and I think we got it at $4.56, and the Tech Insider sold it out at 620. But since then, a lot more difficult, and my guess is you're probably going to see a few more bounces to the downside before you can play this. They are not going out of business. The U.S. government can't afford to allow them to. They make and get stuff out of the ground that in case of a war we would have to have. So I'm not worried about them going out. I'm just worried about a decent entry price. And every time China pulls the strings back on rare earths, this thing is going to bounce. So it's going to be one for somebody with a quick mouse finger. But I'd like to see this thing back down one more time, down around that 450 range. And I think if the volume really dries up there, then that may be a good long-term buy. But companies actually producing stuff now. There's going to be more stuff coming out of the ground. And every time China blinks on export restrictions on their rare earths, this thing runs. So just if you can keep your ear to the ground and hear when prices are rising for China's rare earths, especially neodymium, you're not going to make electric cars without it.
And
there's only 3 mines, of which one was closed. That's another reason why I bought that thing down at that first run, was that the Australian mine, which is the only one outside of China that's actually producing, got closed down for a while. But if you want to hang on for the other side, we'll talk some more.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody can call 877-927-6648.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And I'm just going to check. Is Kay still on?
Yeah, I'm here, bud. I'm here.
Okay. Is
what do you
it two names or is it one name? K Rico or is it K?
It's a K-R-I-C-O.
Okay. So let's get back to what we're at.
Do you think they have competition?
It's a monopoly. You got 3 mines. You got one in Australia producing. You got one giant pit in Mongolia, in China producing, and you have one in California. For those that don't know, I think within the first couple of weeks I was on, I brought up MCP, and somewhere in early May of probably 2011, I would imagine. And that what we were talking about, what I thought was a perfect storm for it, and it ended up going from about $14 at its IPO or $12 to about $79. I played it at 14.5, and I think I sold it at 48 when the CEO kept playing it forever on CNBC. I knew that there were problems, and I see that same thing in 3D printer stocks right now. They shouldn't be on every other 5 minutes on CNBC. They should be out trying to sell to people that want to buy their product, not who want to buy their stock. And that's the problem I see with 3D printers, and is the exact same problem I saw with CNBC and MCP. They get enamored with the stock market and forget that they actually need customers to buy their product, and that's Go ahead.
Do you think that little company REE is any kind of?
I think they're still 5 years. I think they're 5 years away from actually making anything. These things are like gold mines. It takes 10 years to get anything going. In fact, MCP had mines that had been in production, and it took them, 3.5 years to take a mine that had been decommissioned and just get it up and running again. So it takes 5-10 years, and everybody's out taking soil samples. And it reminds me of Mark Twain saying about a gold mine. It's a hole in the ground with a liar standing next to it. And that's the same thing. Maybe one day these things turn into something, but even after they're ready to go and they're started, they need 1,000 different stainless steel vats to just distill any of the rare earths out of these things. All that stuff is hugely expensive. It has to be moved fairly close to the facility. It's highly toxic. They use lots of dangerous chemicals. So in that way, it's very much like a gold mine. It takes forever to get these things moving. But the whole MCP thing came along because they were afraid China would cut us off in the event of any war that they didn't like, and we wouldn't be able to make everything we need for war. And so they helped back MCP becoming a public company, getting those mines in California reopened, and voiding a lot of the EPA crap that closed them in the first place. So
Very
yes.
serious.
Huh?
That's all very serious, what you're just talking about.
Oh, I know. We've got to have a source, a strategic source in case of war for that stuff. So the company's not going out of business. The government will always step in if they have to buy a certain amount of stuff just from them. And if Lockheed Martin has to build more cruise missiles, I'll guarantee you the rare earths are coming from Molycorp. And it is going to be one of those kind of things where this is going to be a great stock to trade, but we need to see some kind of huge event to make sure that we'd own this thing for a long time.
Dave, thank you for all this information. I really appreciate it. Really fantastic.
Cool.
And I'll watch for that bottoming area. But sometimes those bottoms never come, but they get close.
Yeah, so it's there's always another trade. We're not stuck in this one or any of them.
Do you still feel good about the confluence numbers you had for the ES minis yesterday? I caught your
what, about 1670 on the S&P cash? 1670 on the S&P cash.
18. What was that number?
1670.
For Friday expiration?
No. I'm thinking 1820 or something like that on the cash.
Yeah, right. For Friday, I heard you say 1820. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you're talking last Friday, but I'm still looking at the bigger move here to 1670. Friday's kind of short term for me, but I think I'm pretty good with it. Anyway, we'll be back. Thanks for the call, Rico.
Thank you.
We've got lots of mail in here stacking up, questions in the den. So you can always call me, too, at 877-927-6648.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we are back. We've got lots of questions out here. We talked about Tesla. Biz and DJ, new questions I'll have to answer after. SPF. I think you want at least 30 out there in the sun, SPF. Let's take a quick look. Standard Pacific Corporation, I guess, is what we're looking at. And this thing's just moving sideways. I don't see a whole lot on that to trade. It's just in the congestion zone at about 850. And BBY. Someone's looking at making a play out here on BBY, and we'll see what we have. Your thoughts. I got a Best Buy 25 put, March put. Boy, I don't like shorting stocks that have already fallen in half. I can see what you're looking at, but, I think it's fine. I think you got this thing's probably coming back down to 1776. The problem is that everybody and their dog is probably short this too, and that's going to be the problem on this thing. Man, I don't know. I'd have to look at the puts to see, but I would. I think the thing's probably going to roll over and go back down to 20 at least. There's the bottom of the candle on looks like April 4th of last year, and the low on that was 21.71. That's probably where you're going to start seeing some support levels. But I think this thing's you're probably on the right-hand side of this thing, and it's going to continue to slide probably into August until you get to the next big selling season for electronics next fall. So probably going to be a fairly cyclical stock, and we'll have to look at it. Another question in the den is VMware. VMW. I really like the stock. Wanted to buy it, missed it. And I wrote a great deal about what these guys do. They bought a small Israeli company that was very big on virtualizing routers. So you didn't have to change any of the connections. You just basically told it you want this to route to that, and the router did it automatically. You didn't matter really where these things were plugged in. It would automatically switch all of these, and a lot easier than going back and moving cables around. So especially when you're doing based services, you may need a bunch of IP addresses moved around. This did it all in software. Pretty nice. Got to a high of 101.52 not too long ago. But I don't know. I'm fairly bearish on most of this market. I would say this thing looks like it's probably going to come back and set up an ABC right now that would probably take it back to the 78 level if it is a full ABC on the way down. But my guess is we're probably looking at something like $87, something like that. So yeah, I would say that if you're looking to buy this, I'd be wanting to get down to that 87 level and probably the 85 level, where there's a nice little gap, and that's probably where you're going to find support, somewhere between those two. I think it's a great company. I think that their stuff is very hot, and probably more than anything, the whole NSA thing with the U.S. government being involved with backdoors in every piece of hardware is probably their biggest problem right now. I think, and the general economy, which is probably going to pull back a little bit. But I'd love to find this stock, and if it could get back to $76 and light volume, I think this thing has a great trading range between there and $101. So, it may be that all you get is this 87 level back up to 101, but great company, and everything about it I kind of like. But I have a feeling that there are bigger issues out here than just how well they're running their company. Hopefully that answers the question. Any new update on the development of nuclear fusion, that California project? The company that I talked about somewhat, where they reached what they call ignition, where actually more energy came out than they put in, has been peer-reviewed now. And I don't know if that takes us a great deal farther. If you get the Tech Insider, there's a company that has probably the shortest road to actually selling any nuclear fusion. And you would have seen that about 4 weeks ago. But I think I wrote fairly extensively about that. And you can check that out. You can go get a free 30-day trial, I think. Is it 2 weeks or 30 days? I'm going to have to go check on the Tech Insider. I think you could probably go back and find that edition where I wrote about it. But there's a rather large company that I think has the best chance of getting nuclear fusion to customers first. And it wouldn't be the company that you think of. Other things out here. To VMware. Oh, let's look at a few of these stocks because they are fairly interesting. Probably the one that interests me most at the moment is the Semiconductors Holders Trust. This thing is up on very light volume, challenging previous highs. And what do we have here? I got to check a few things real quick. Because I am short out my gills, so I need to be watching a few of these out here. Probably going to stop out of one out of the 8 or 9 positions I have today, but the rest look very good. Yeah, I think we're okay. Holding up here on very high, light volume, like the SMHs. Last 4 days, we've been moving up to this previous high at 43.13 from the January 15th high, and it has been somewhat problematic to see these highs with such light volume. But we were looking for 2.5 million shares. So the last 4 days, we get 1.6 million shares, 1.2 million shares, 1 million shares yesterday. We got 812,000 so far today. And if you look down here at the nice little volume bars for the last 3 days, I think that tells you everything. We started getting going and volume just continues to fall out as we go back up to these highs. And that's at least one of them that does have to concern me. Others out here, Argin. I'm trying to remember this one out here. Plus, we had some other stocks that I wanted to get to. Okay. Repligen Corporation. I'm not real familiar with this one, but certainly for one of these less known stocks, I'll read the profile here in a second. Another one that looks like maybe here it's stalled at 16. Looking at the 1620 high of January 30th with almost 900,000 shares, got into it with 530,000 shares. This thing looks like it's been moving up fairly steadily for a while. Life sciences company engages in the development, production, and commercialization of consumable products used in the process of manufacturing biological drugs. Its bioprocessing products are sold to various life science and biopharmaceutical companies worldwide. But that's one of these that I'm looking at out here. SYNA, another one. If we got up here. Synaptics. Another one of these up here with very high volume. And these are the ones I'm kind of watching out here today. We wanted to get 4.5 million shares like we did on January 24th at 63.76. Got up here 2.1 million shares today. And a lot of these stocks just keep pushing up at these highs with lighter volume. Just want to update my S&Ps and check volume real quick because, of course, I've got all these positions on, so always looking. 1838 on the S&P cash, 2.4 billion shares. So volume is going to be, once again, light, and one more test of that 1845 level. Any close below 1838 would be yet another sell signal, so we'll be watching this close fairly strongly. Let's see what else we have out here. TSN. Let's take a quick look at that. Tyson Foods. This is very interesting to me to see these food companies up here with very light volume. TSN, of course, probably your chicken comes from them. January 31st, $38.25. Nice move, huge volume, 12 million shares. Pulls back to the gap down, which is exactly what you want. What you wanted to see today was something approaching 12 million shares, and you got about 3 million shares. So probably setting up some kind of trading range between 35 and 38 up here. Had a nice consolidation. You got your pop up on the, what is that, the 31st, and pulled back directly the day after it. But of course, not a technology company. Doesn't look like a great deal is going to happen on a lot of other ones. Waddell and Reed, another one, financial accounting firm up here on lighter volume. It was about 10% light yesterday, but it is solidly closing back below on that. And was it STX? One that I'd been looking on to possibly short because I think that was it WDC maybe? Yeah, Western Digital. I'm looking at Western Digital as an ABC down, and let's take a quick look at it, the expansions. See if we have 90 up here. Kind of a smaller ABC, but wanted to look at this one today. Let's just do this real quick. Let's see, that one's B, that one's C. And it basically did a 74% retracement up this morning. But I was kind of looking for that intraday reversal on these. But certainly starting to see some of these. What I liked about this was that if you get a market pullback, it would take you back to this gap. That gap was the 4th of December last year. But just a one-to-one retracement on an ABC down, even though this thing went a little higher than you'd like, it would be at 87.36. The one I'm thinking is the one to 382 would take you to 74.72, and that's just underneath that gap. The low of the day was 76.33. I think you're probably looking at that 76 range as the next move for Western Digital. These hard drive manufacturers had a huge run, but I think their margins are starting to roll over, and maybe we'll get back to the price war we had before. Okay, so what else do we have going on here? Take a few more looks, check my mail and see if it's there's any more else out here. And see. I get lots of mail about luxury watches, fake Rolexes. I don't know if that'll matter. I had a question that I'll try to answer on the show because I've got about 2 minutes left. And I go both ways when I stock trade. You can bet on stocks going higher. That is called long. You can bet on stocks going lower. That is called being short. When you short a stock, you borrow it from your broker with the promise to return it another day. If the stock goes up, you have to buy it back at a higher price. If the stock goes down, you get to buy it at a lower price. If you don't know what shorting is, you probably need to get some books and read about it and understand it a lot better. And I'll probably find some generic books and send this guy some links. But if you don't know what shorting is, you should not be short. And a good indication that if you think the market is going down, just go ahead and sell your stocks. You don't have to be both long and short. And in both my newsletters, I offer inverse ETFs that mean you only have to be long. You don't have to understand shorting the market, days to cover, that kind of stuff. So I think I put one in there today. It's already had a nice little move on the upside last time I looked. Yeah, it's up 5 or 6% since this morning. So hopefully that takes care of a lot of the problems that you have. If you don't know what shorting is, stay away from it. So that would be a great deal of that. Trying to think of other things out here. I wanted to look at a few more stocks. Berry, B-E-R-Y, Berry Plastics Group, B-E-R-Y, and that is another one out here that I've kind of taken a quick look at this 24.27 level. It did break a higher, B-E-R-Y, on the previous high. That's 24.27, January 8th. 1.5 million shares. Got into it with half the volume out here. Don't know a lot about the stocks. I assume they're in plastic. In fact, I probably can. Oh, we have enough time? No, we don't. We're going to break here now. So we will be back in just a few minutes. Still have time to call in at 877-927-6648. Post in the den with your particular stock and or email me at path@tfnn.com. We'll be back in a moment.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Well, it looks like we'll be looking at a lot about earnings tonight, and we'll see how some of these high flyers with no earnings do after the bell, like Tesla. It is going to be an interesting day. But what can you say? Well, I wanted to look at EUO, actually. When we've been looking at these lows out here in the ultra-short euro, certainly this one has caught my eye. And one of the reasons why I think we may be at a turning point in the market also. This thing's had some nice little bounces off this $17 level starting back with October 24th. I think somewhere in here we had a Gartley pattern that both Tom and I played. But this level of about 1697, 1690, volume has shrunk. What I really like is just a very light volume at 1699 yesterday, and even the start of a little bit of movement up here today in this EUO. Not exactly sure what it is. Maybe it's our horrible foreign policy where we're allowing everything to spin out of control around the world. But I don't think our current Secretary of State is up to the job, and pretty much everybody's smoking and rolling them. But certainly the problems in the old Western Soviet Republic certainly coming to the forefront, and we may be seeing weakness in euros and that kind of stuff just because of the political issues resolving around the country, around the world, not so much what's happening at the banks and that level. But certainly something is going on in this EUO area, and it really makes me say that this is probably a good time as any to see a low in the dollar-euro. But certainly what we're in here with like half volume yesterday, certainly volume is not a great deal today. And we're seeing oil move, stuff like that. And that is a good sign of tension in the marketplaces. One thing that could really make and pull the plug out on this market is if that energy sector did roll over. I know our friend Andy Heck's been looking for a crude to roll over here for a while, and it can always be moved a little bit more. But energy companies, about 30% of the S&P cash, and I would not be surprised to see a lot of this start rolling over anytime soon. Of course, not a lot of volume in these markets. Checked during the break, 2.5 billion shares, and we're continuing to roll back down. Last time I looked, we were at 1836. I think we've hit the high for this week. We're probably going to see this market continue to drip. And in a change from last month's, I'm looking for a market that has a lot more drip, drip, drip than screams and roller coaster rides. And I think it's probably going to take a lot more time than a lot of people think. There is a good rule of alternation. That is, if a move up is nice and linear, a lot of times the move back down is extremely choppy and violent. And I think we had a kind of a nice move back up here. And I think the last move down was rather violent and scary. And I think we're looking for probably a much smoother trend to start that probably will last 60 to 90 days and could take us right into May. If I'm right about the sell-off and the move back down to 1670, probably on the S&P cash. So we may see 100 points down or 175 points down, something like that on the S&P cash over the next few months. But my guess it's going to be a lot tougher to be short this time than it was a month ago. But we'll see. I am 100% short in my newsletters and happy about it. We'll see how it does tomorrow.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.